Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Alinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. Today, I am so grateful that we are again back with Madam Rose. I am not in our layer farm. Today we are here with our broilers. And for those who are interested in broilers, I know most of you out there are interested in broilers. So we just feel like we don't want to leave you out. You should also learn the what? Brooding of broilers, because with broilers it's a bit different from layers, because with the layers we do brood them for 1 month, but for broilers we do it for 2 weeks. And one thing you must know is broiler farming is quick money compared to layer farming, and I'm sure most of you out there are interested in broilers, and most of you out there have been requesting me to again come back to Madam Rose farm and she tells us about brooding, because I told you some time back that she will also be bringing birds very soon, and she has also been doing brooding, and actually she's still doing brooding. So today I'm here. I want us to understand what we mean by brooding of broilers. So she's going to explain to us into details about broiler brooding. So thank you so much. Please, for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and we shall be so grateful. Please stay tuned. Let's stay tuned till the end and we shall be happy. So, Madam Rose, today we are here in your broiler farm. I want you to tell our audience more about broiler brooding. So please, can you explain to us, when we talk about broiler brooding, what it means and how do we do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, our viewers. You are most welcome. This is Rose. I'm in broiler, and I'm going to explain briefly what brooding in broiler is. Brooding is the first 2 weeks when you bring the birds.
Okay.
And these birds are always day one birds. When they have just hatched them like this, then you bring them into your farm. So these birds you are seeing them here, they have made 1 week now. I brought them last week, Friday. So when you are bringing the broilers, you prepare the place where you brood, just like the way you are seeing this space here. The space is smaller because of the number that I've brought. I have like 350 birds here. Okay. So you organize the place like the way you are seeing the tabling up to make the warm. You can see the pot is here for the heat. And before putting this drink, as you are seeing, they are somehow raised up. They were down because the birds were still young. For the first 4 days they were down. These bricks I've just put them yesterday to raise the drinkers up. Okay. And then the birds were also eating from a plate. From plate covers of buckets, which was somehow down. I've just put also these feeders, the small size. Okay. So those are some of the requirements that are needed in the brooding. Okay. Then if you see down now, there's only the wood cutting where the birds are now sleeping. But the first 5 days they were sleeping on papers. Okay. You put papers for them to feel really comfortable. So that is the requirement you need in the brooding, in the brooding of broilers. Okay. Then also when you are brooding, you ensure that there is heat so that the birds are not crowded. The first 4 days the heat really need to be there from morning up to morning. Okay.
That's the first 4 days.
Yeah, the first 4 days. Okay. From morning up to morning. But in case the weather is not bad, you can start withdrawing the heat during daytime and even at night.
That is after the first 4 days.
Yeah, after the first 4 days. Okay. I remember some time back I told you about the use of thermometer to measure the heat of the brooding house. That is how you would know which heat can I really maintain in the brooding. But unfortunately, I told you last time, some of these requirements I'm yet to get them. So I've always been using a system in the brooding that the first 4 days I make really the heat day and night. Then from the 5th day I start reducing the heat depending on how the weather is. Okay. Yes.
So how many birds are you brooding now?
I'm brooding 350.
Okay.
Maybe something that I did not tell you that about the drinkers here. The first 3 days, I always give glucose. I give glucose in the water for the birds to gain strength.
Okay.
Then I start giving vitamin.
Okay.
Yes, I start giving vitamin after the glucose.
Okay. So
Then, also in the brooding, remember this is now another feed. I've already started using my mixture, but I started yesterday. But after the first 4 days, we always use what? We always use pellet. So the pellets, it is recommended that you use for 2 weeks. But mine got finished in the 10th day, so I'm like less by 4 days. Yes.
Okay. For us when we are doing the layers, we normally brood for 1 month. So for broilers, what is the best number of days for you to do proper brooding?
Yeah, proper brooding at least is for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 14 days.
Okay.
When you can withdraw. But still, it also depends when the weather is bad and you see the birds are crowded. Because when the birds are overcrowded, that is when the birds always get lame.
Okay.
And sometimes you can even lose birds because they are compact together.
Okay.
So brooding can even exceed the 14 days depending on the weather, but the recommended days that they give us 14 days.
Okay.
Yes.
For us, I'm doing the brooding for layers, and the lighting should be on 24 hours for the next 30 days. With the broilers, do you switch off the light when it comes to nighttime, or power should also be there constant?
Power is always constant. Yeah, during the brooding and even after brooding.
Okay.
For me, my power has always been constant.
Okay.
Yeah, day and night. Until when I start selling off the birds.
Okay.
Because these birds, when they eat, they need to take water.
Okay.
Yes. So at night, the bird cannot take water when there is no power because its rapid growth depends on eating and drinking.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Are there some of the diseases that can affect these broilers when during the brooding time?
Yes. Like more especially flu, depending on the weather. Yeah, this flu always come because of the coldness, and the birds are still young. Yeah, like these 2 days I've been having that sneezing in the birds, and I'm treating it. So when you realize that there's something happening with the bird, you need really to see the vet as soon as possible, and you start treating it.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
But I can see the birds are really doing well, and I think the flu will go away.
Yeah, the flu I believe is going to go away because I'm treating them. The birds are not bad because this is a bird of 1 week.
Okay, and it's looking very healthy. Wow. Yes. So how often do you vaccinate the birds?
Vaccination is after a week because we always get when they've already got the vaccination of the first day. Then after 1 week, I vaccinate Newcastle. Then the second week, I vaccinate Gomboro. Then the third week, I vaccinate Newcastle again.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I always send them in the 4th to 5th week. I don't carry other vaccination again.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, then another thing also that I can tell you about the brooding. When you enter into the brooding room where you are brooding the birds, and you find the birds are compact in the corner or in one place, it is a sign that the heat is not enough. Okay. But when the heat is enough, the birds automatically will be scattered. Okay. So it is advisable that you add the heat to make them scattered so that they are not crowded. As I've said that when they are crowded, they are most likely to become lame and even to die. Okay. Because the other bird sleeps on that on those ones which are down. Yes. Okay. Wow. Then with the feeding, I don't have a percentage of food that I give per day, but I've always been giving my birds morning and
And evening,
I
okay.
give them food morning and evening. Yes. And when I come inside and I see there's still some food in the feeder, I always don't add. I ensure that all the feeds are over. Then that is when I add, and I can even sometimes give some allowance. If I enter at around 4 and I still see there's some food, no food, I can even come back at 5:30.
Okay.
Then I give now for the night. Then maybe the way I would say that I can measure that the food is enough, when I put these feeders here for the birds, I ensure that when you put like this and the birds have been lacking food in the feeders, they all line up. They all line up to eat. And when you see that there are birds that are struggling, there are some birds that are struggling, they don't have space, then it means that you need to add more feeders so that all birds are feeding.
Okay.
That is maybe the way I've been weighing the food for them. Yeah, but I don't have a percentage of food that I give in the morning and in the evening. Yes.
Okay. So ideally, you just see which birds are outside not eating, and you just keep adding the feeders like that. You don't have the.
And I also now expand the room.
Oh.
Because you see, the birds are mainly hanging. They don't have where to eat, but there's no any more space. You can add more feeders. Then I know that space is not enough because I don't have any other feeder I can fix.
Okay.
Yes.
I can see you're using only one pot for the brooding, and you have put some balls inside. That is one way of.
Yeah, because charcoal is expensive, so I always economize by making this. I call them balls. This is a mixture of the residue of charcoal plus soil. Okay. So when you put charcoal and then you mix inside it or you put it on top, and when it catches well, it will really maintain the heat for a longer time. Yes.
Oh. Wow.
I was having 2 pots in the first 5 days because it has been rainy season and the place has been cold. But now that I'm on my 10th day, I've withdrawn the other pot and I'm remaining only with one now.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So that means at least the birds are now growing.
Yeah, the birds are growing. As you can see, the feathers have started coming out.
Yes. So the next 2 weeks shall be consuming them.
Yes.
Wow. Do you also sometimes experience mortality during your brooding, or it is just what people say, but it is not true? Because now I'm sure you've done brooding for quite some time. This is not your first brooding.
Yeah, sometimes mortality comes, but it is always not a must that it has to come.
Okay.
They say if the first 3 days you have not lost a bird, and you start losing after 3 days, then the problem is with you, the farmer. It is not from the factory or from the manufacturer. But I don't know how sure it is. But it is very rare for you to brood and finish without losing a bird. You can lose a bird like when you, like me, who has brought 350, losing at least 5 birds is not a surprise in brooding work, but it is not necessary that you have to work. It is not a must that you really have to lose bird during brooding. Because sometimes you can bring a bird and you brood and you don't even lose. But in case you lose any bird, it is not a cause of an alarm. Yeah, because it is expected at least. Because of the environment, because of the many things I've told you, the birds have moved, they are small, they eat, so sometimes it is possible that a bird can die or birds can die during brooding. But any day that exceeds 10, it is something that you don't take it for granted. You have to find the cause. Why has bird died this time, this number, so that you prevent it next time. So it is advisable that you try to note what has really caused the birds to die. Was there some changes in the breeding system? Was the weather bad? As I've told you that this time around the weather has been bad. It has been raining. So was your charcoal enough? Was they eat enough? How was how is the brooding room? Did you spray? Some of those issues you have to reconsider them.
Okay.
Yes.
I can see you have even refused me to enter the brooding where you're doing brooding from.
Yes.
So security is tight.
Yes, security is tight because I'm still in brooding.
Okay. Wow. So what can you tell farmers out there who really fear brooding? Because most farmers out there, they really fear brooding. What can you tell them out there?
Brooding, in fact, brooding, most people fear it because of the stress that is related to it. Waking up at night to put that eat, seeing that the birds are eating well. So putting those peppers, now that I've removed the peppers, changing them morning and evening, most people really fear that. But in any business, you have to really know because not all the time you will get birds which are already big. You always have to also have the experience. If you're a serious farmer and you want to progress, you have to start from all area, or you start from the very beginning, so that you also know what brooding is. Brooding, to me it is something that is hard in broilers, because it is when you really need to give that special attention to the birds.
Okay.
But I don't really buy the idea that anybody who wants to start with farming or poultry should buy birds which are already grown up because it's fear in the brooding. Then how will you learn the brooding? Will you be a farmer who will always take from what people have done? Then you don't have that experience to give others. So for me now, I'm giving the experience I've gone through because I've been in the brooding.
Okay.
I would not have given this information if I was getting birds that people have already taken care of. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So for today, I think let us stop here. That is all we had for our audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. That is all I had for you for today. All the broiler farmers out there, I think you have got something out of this episode. So please, for those who have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Click on the notification bell. Tell us which country you're watching us from, and we shall be so grateful. See you next time. Bye bye.